Okay, hello everyone, and good evening once again. Okay, so in today's presentation, we are going to start by taking a look at the last year's professional practice examination. Okay, so I'm going to take you through it, and also we solve one calculation, because based on my experience with these exams, it's like if they ask a calculation question this year, so they might not ask it the following year. So last year, they did not ask the candidates to do any calculation regarding professional scales of fees. So there's a very high chance that this year they are going to ask you to calculate the professional fees, and it's a compulsory question. The question is a very simple arithmetic, but if you did not come down and understand the question, you are not going to be able to answer it correctly. Okay? It's very simple, but very tricky. You have to understand it because they categorize the town planners based on their years of experience. So the higher the year of experience, the higher the rate of each of the town planners. Okay, so maybe they will just mention that a town planner with 25 years of experience. So it is left for you to determine a person, a town planner with 25 years of experience, what should be his rank? Is it a principal town planner? Is it a senior town planner? Is it a chief town planner or a graduate town planner? So you have to know the years. It's just like the rank in the military. We have the brigadier general at the top. We have I think we have the lieutenant general. We have the brigadier, major general. We have the colonel, lieutenant colonel. So all of them, depending on their rank and maybe the seniority. So likewise in town planning too, we have the most senior town planner, which is I think a principal consultant. We have the chief consultant down to even student town planner and also graduate town planner. Okay, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So before we
So,
go to the calculation, yeah. All right. Okay. So the question goes like this. Number one, they ask the candidate to describe the concept of thinking outside the box. You know, one thing about this professional examination is that they will ask you questions even outside town planning. Okay, they will ask you critical thinking questions. Because as a town planner, you are not only supposed to know only the planning aspect of it, like you are supposed to be a critical thinker. So last year they asked them to describe the concept of thinking outside the box. Okay, even though I don't think they will ask you the same question, this question this year, but maybe they might likely ask you a similar question that has similarity with this one. Okay, so when somebody asks you to think outside the box, please, all of you should mute your microphones, please. Okay, so under normal circumstances, if you are asked to think outside the box, you are asked to think or maybe to do something that is not normally done. Okay, like a new something, a new thing, to think outside the box. Okay, maybe we have a guideline, we have some criteria, we have some standards. So if you're asked to maybe think outside the box or as a planner to act or to do something or maybe to design something that is maybe outside the box, that is something new, something novel, something that uh, this noise is too loud. Who is? Let me see. Okay, please, all of you should mute your microphones, please. I can't see the person that is. Okay, yeah, it's this. Mhm.
Mine and yeah, one of them has muted.
Yeah. I'm muting.
Tí ọ̀nà bá yẹn laptop, màá sáré fi iṣẹ́ kan sórí laptop ẹ̀.
Okay, so thinking outside the box means bringing in something new, something that is not everywhere. Okay, so here we say thinking outside the box means approaching problems in a creative, unconventional way. Okay, so you approach that in an unconventional way, and like a way that is very innovative, and using standard solutions. Okay, it involves exploring new perspectives and embracing new approaches. So now let me give you some examples of things that are maybe outside the box related to planning. Okay, like when designing, like let's say roundabouts. Roundabout are part of monuments in any particular city or settlement that relates to the identity of the people. Let me give you an example. Maybe if some of you have been to Yola, the capital of Adamawa State, there's a runabout that normally used to amaze me. The runabout has a calabash. They designed it in form of a calabash. There's a calabash in the middle of the runabout. So the Fulani people of Nigeria and maybe West Africa, calabash is like a symbol of the Fulani tradition. So the people, or maybe the town planners that advise the government the government to do that runabout with the calabash, signifying the identity of the Fulani people. So the people that did that design think outside the box. They brought in something new, something novel that also relates to the people that the design was meant for. Because planning, we don't just do planning for doing sake. We plan for the people. Okay, so that design, that runabout, that calabash runabout can be an example of thinking outside the box. We have also another one, in Bauchi town. If you have been to Bauchi town, we have another runabout. They normally call it Maigiwa. It's a runabout that has an elephant at the middle of it. It has an elephant. And if you know Bauchi, the trail of tourism, they have the Yankari Game Reserve, they have the animals and everything. So now, doing that runabout with an elephant also relates to Bauchi being the field of tourism. Okay, and also we have emphasis on sustainable building design, renewable energy, and community participations. Okay, so now with improvement in technology, especially the renewable design, renewable energy, and also resilient city, there are a lot of opportunities for town planners to explore ways that have not been explored before. So all these things can be related to thinking outside the box. You just do new things that have not been done anywhere. Maybe in your state, you are working with the State Development Board, or maybe, you are working with the Ministry of Works. You can, suggest something to the state government that have never been done before. So if you've done that, that means you are thinking outside the box. Okay. So we also have other things like applying of smart city technologies for waste, water, and energy efficiencies. Sometimes the problems that we are facing will motivate us to bring solutions. Because as you are sitting like this without any challenge, you cannot even be able to think of some things. But if you have a challenge or maybe a flood or something that affect the life of the people of where you live. So that is when maybe sometimes you'll just think of something new. And if you implement it, you will see that it makes a lot of sense. So that is that about that. So just have it at the back of your mind. They might ask you a random question, a question that is not related directly to planning. So you should just be smart enough to answer it. as I told you, just from the English, thinking outside the box, if somebody said thinking outside the box means doing something new, something that you are not used to it. So just relate it to planning. Doing something that has not been done or we are not used to it in planning. You understand? So that is just that about that. So we have the number 2 question there. They said you have been asked to prepare a brief to accompany the award of a contract to consultancy firm to prepare a master plan for a new local government headquarters. Okay, then here they say describe the content of the brief. So most of you, or maybe some of you that are into private consultancy or even are civil servants, on a normal situation, when a contract is awarded to a town planning firm, to a town planning company, so the contractors, which is normally maybe the government agency, or the government, either the state or the local government, will present you with a brief. So a brief is just an information regarding the local government, the people, their religion, the history of the place, if they have any environmentally sensitive areas, if they have any water body, if they have lakes, they have streams, everything, all information relating to that local government, they are supposed to provide it to you, because maybe you as a contractor, as a town planner, you are not from that locality, so you might not know who they are, you might not know their history, you might not know their composition in terms of religion, in terms of beliefs, and otherwise. So it is the duty of that local government to present to you all the information. So that is why here they ask you, maybe you as the chairman, or maybe as a staff, as a civil servant working with that local government. So what are the items are you going to give the contractor that will do the master plan of your local government? Okay. So all this information are needed because we plan for the people. We are not planning for ourselves. Maybe you are a town planner, you are a contractor, you might not even live in that local government. So you are supposed to work for them. You plan for them. You plan for the people. So here are just a brief of the summary of the brief that you,
What's wrong with people?
as
I'm
a
in
civil
class
servant, you are
now.
supposed to give the contractors. So number 1, we have the project overview. So in the project overview, you mention the purpose, the goal, and also the scope of the local government. So the local government is supposed to serve as the headquarters of that local government. It is the seat of the government. So it's supposed to be very special. It's supposed to look very presentable, very planned, and it's supposed to have standard roads and everything that befits a very good local government headquarters. So you mentioned the purpose of that master plan, what you want to achieve. You mentioned the goals and also the scope. So number 2, we have the site description. The site is the local government. The local government is your site. Okay, so you mentioned the size, like maybe in hectares or in square kilometers. You mentioned the size, then you mentioned the location. The local government is in Kaduna State, Southern Kaduna, and the local government is bordering Katsina State, or maybe it's bordering Plateau State by this other section of Southern Kaduna, or maybe it's bordering maybe Niger State. Anyway, then you mentioned the infrastructure. You mentioned all the facilities and services, or maybe if there are industries, you mentioned them in the site description. You also mentioned existing uses. Yeah, you mentioned if you have any industrial layout, you tell them, because it will enable them to locate some things, maybe closer to the industrial areas. Maybe if there is a need for power station, you see, it will be good if they locate it beside the industrial areas or the industrial layouts. If there's any water body, or there is any lake, if the local government is interested in establishing like a resort, or maybe a green area, so the planners can have it at the back of their mind that, look, this local government has so number of lakes, or maybe it has zero lake. So that will give the town planners an idea of how they are going to do the master plan. And as you know, the master plan is not done for a very short time. It's normally done for a very long time and is done in phases. Maybe we'll have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of implementation. So maybe at the first instance, phase 1 will be implemented, phase 2 after 5 years, then phase 3 after another 5 years, and so on. Okay, so we also have environmental and social impacts. So you as a staff with the local government, you are supposed to tell the consultant the environmental impact of some of the projects, or maybe some of the road that might be constructed. You mention how they will impact the society. We also have the social impact. The social impact is an impact that will affect the people living in that area socially. Okay, maybe maybe if it is a Muslim local government, you understand there are things that are not supposed to be cited in that local government because it would be against the Muslim belief. So as a planner, you have that at the back of your mind. Then we also have the implementation strategy. So after the designing, after everything, after the phasing of the project based on phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, depending on the magnitude of the project. So there is need for you as a planner to know the budget. Like the local government should inform you how much are they willing to put in that master plan. So the budget size will determine the type of facilities or maybe the length of the roads that you as a town planner will propose for them. Because you cannot maybe propose 100-kilometer in the master plan while they have maybe only let's say 500 million. So you see they cannot fund it. So you do the design based on the budget they will provide to you. If they say that they have money that maybe reaches 20 billion naira, okay, then you will do your analysis too. You will do your research and maybe find out 20 million naira. You calculate and determine the type of facilities, the length of the road that money can take care of. And also the phasing, that is the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So if it is after five years, that means the master plan will be fully implemented after 20 years. Maybe the first stage, 5 years, the second stage, another 5 years. So 5 years times 4, that is 20 years. So they will tell you if it is 9 years or 12 years, whatever their timeline for the implementation of that master plan. Okay, because we are speaking as the local government staff. So you as the local government staff, you are presenting the brief to the consultants. So you tell them the budget, you tell the consultants the phasing, and also you mention the timeline. Let's say this is 2025 and you want the master plan to be fully implemented in 20 years to come. So 2025 plus 20 years, that is 20, we have 2045. So the master plan should be fully implemented by 2045. So if we have 4 phases, that means each phase will be implemented in 5 years. The first phase, 2025 to 2030. Then the second phase, the third, and the last phase. So you also have that at the back of your mind because after everything, after you do the proposal, you are going to divide all the activities. All activities for phase 1, you mention them. All activities for phase 2, you also mention them to guide the implementation of the project. Okay, so lastly, we have the policy compliance. That means alignment of that design you are about to do with the local planning laws, master plans, and zoning. Okay, so the last part of the project is the work schedule, okay, which we have also explained under the phasing and timeline. Okay, so the schedule means the schedule is the phasing. That means you mention activities for phase 1, that is from 2025 to 2030. Then you also mention the the activities, the items that you want to be implemented in phase one. That is the first 5 years. Then you also mention the items, the activities that you want to be implemented in the second phase. The second phase is 2030 to 2035. So you do the schedule of work so that it will guide the implementation of the project. Okay, so I think that is just that about the question number 2. Okay, so we have question number 3, where they said one of the greatest challenges facing Nigeria today is insecurity, especially in the rural areas. Okay, so this insecurity has direct bearing not only on life and property, but also on food security. Yeah, which is true. If you take a look at what is happening, especially in Northeast, Borno and Yobe states, and also in Northwest, we have Katsina, we have Sokoto and Zamfara, and also part of Kaduna State. So most of the farmers there are not going to the farm because of kidnappings and insecurity. So insecurity has direct impact on food security, because if you check the the total amount of food produced in the last 20 years and now, like, you see a significant decrease because of the insecurity we are experiencing in those areas. Okay. Okay. So this insecurity has direct bearing not only on life and property, but also on food security. Commerce, yeah, because market will close, people will not be able to sell their goods, and also even if the market's open, there is no commodity to sell. So there is no need going to the market, and also decrease in economic development. In the light of this reality, okay, they said, what contribution can the discipline of
Yeah, yeah.
urban and regional planning provide to reducing the problem? Okay, so here they're asking you as a town planner, how do you think, uh, how can you propose, or what can you do to, okay, okay, they said, what can you do to solve this insecurity problem? Okay, so B, they said, how can settlement policy and planning be used as a tool to ensure greater security of persons resident in the rural areas? Okay, so here we have the contributions of urban planning to food security. Okay, number one, we have strategic land use planning. Okay, promoting clustered settlements that are easier to defend and monitor rather than disperse homestead. So if you know all these areas I mentioned, not even, yeah, most especially in northern Nigeria, most of the villages, you see them scattered around, and like in Katsina and Zamfara state, where we have a significant number of Fulani, you see most of them are scattered around. Maybe each family will be living in their own farm, another family will be having their own family in form of a farmstead. Okay, so in order to prevent, or maybe to, yeah, prevent their lives and properties, there is need for all these families living alone to come together to form clusters. So then forming those clusters will enable security agencies, or maybe if they have their own vigilantes, will be easier for them to defend themselves. Like, let's say if we have 20 to 30 families living together, another 20 to 30 families living together, it will be easier for the security to prevent them than to say if like 2 to 3 families are living separately, scattered around. Okay, so clustered settlement can also serve as a solution to the insecurity. Okay, then we also have the infrastructural development. Okay, planning
Yeah.
good roads that allow security forces to access remote areas can improve the economy of an area. So let's say now the security agencies received a distress calls distress call, like in an area that is maybe 30 kilometers from their base. So, for them to reach the area, if there is a very good road network, like in less than 10 to 15 minutes, they can reach. Otherwise, it might take them more than 2 hours if the terrain is not that good. And maybe if they are not familiar with the terrain, like the criminals can finish what they want before the security can reach there and help them. Okay, so we also have the economic-based diversification. Okay, so if, like, let's say in the rural areas, we have agro-processing and maybe small-scale industries. Okay, so these small-scale industries will probably reduce poverty and unemployment. And also, this can reduce the number of criminals. Yeah, because, most of these criminals you are seeing, they involve themselves because of unemployment. Well, maybe some of them might not have attended any school. Maybe some have not even attended primary schools, so they don't have anything to lose. They will just, if they reach their adolescence age, they will just get a gun and start shooting anyhow because yeah, they don't have the education that might prevent them from engaging in all these kind of activities. But let's say if the area is economically diverse, they have jobs, they have everything, I don't think they will engage themselves in all these kind of activities. Then lastly, we have the community engagement. That is, as you know, planning is a thing done together. It's not a one-man job. We plan for the people, so we engage with them to plan for them. So using the participatory planning approaches to build trust, involve community in identifying security risks and co-design can help in reducing this food insecurity. Also, the community now cooperating with the security agencies can also help in the long way in order to reduce the insecurity in these areas. Okay, so we have the tools or maybe ways that can be followed to improve the security of these areas. Number one, we have the policy and also the planning. So under policy, we have the nucleation policy that is encouraging the development of clusters. Let's say maybe the government can bring some policies that will encourage people to be living together. Maybe let's say, for example, if the government, let's say, establish a primary school in an area, so automatically you will see most of the people like that are living scattered around the area can come together to build their new settlement around that house or yeah, around the school or whatever facility the government establish in any area. We also have the integrated land allocation. Okay, so this means if maybe let's say there's a barrack around an area, so the government can encourage people to come and live around the barrack. In the sense that if there's any security incident, the security personnel can easily go and defend them instead of them living kilometers away from the security agencies. Okay, then lastly we have the rural development policies. Uh, we have many rural development policies that the government can use in order to encourage the clustering. In this example, we have the what do you call it? All these subsidized farm machineries and rest. Like the government can use it in order to encourage people to be living together in a particular place for easy accessibility. Okay, then we have the planning. Okay, so under plan, we have the principal space design, we have the service provision planning, and also buffer zones. Buffer zones are planning zones like land use that maybe can be used maybe around a settlement. Maybe this is a settlement, then the government can maybe plant a lot of trees around it for security, to serve as a cover against all these attacks. Then we have the resilience planning. Okay. So that is that about the number one question. I think I'm receiving notification that the meeting might end in 3 minutes. So if the meeting ends in that 3 minutes, I will send another link in the group. So you just check the WhatsApp group and rejoin, please. Okay. So we have yeah, we have the calculation question. So we are going to take a look at the question and we see how we are going to solve it in case they ask you this year. Okay, so listen very well. They said your town planning firm has been awarded the contract of preparing fiscal development plan for your local government headquarters. Okay, so you are to prepare the plan using a team of consultant town planners and support staff with the following years of experience. Okay, so as I told you, they will only mention the year of experience. So you are the one that will categorize them and rank them. You rank them based on maybe 27 years. If a town planner has 27 years of experience, which category is he supposed to belong to? Is he a graduate town planner? Is it a principal town planner or consultant town planner? So you categorize them based on their years of experience in the business. Okay, we have two town planners with 27 years and 21 years of experience. So we have one with 27 years, we have one with 21 years. Then we have three town planners. Okay, the three town planners have 16 years, 17 years, and 18 years of experience. Next, we have two town planners with 10 and 12 years of experience. We have four town planners with 6 years of experience each. So each of the four, they have the same years of experience, which is 6. Then two, we have town planning technologists. We have 5 town planning draftsmen, and one senior admin staff, support staff, and 3 admin support staff, and 1 senior driver and 2 drivers. Okay, so that is the first part of the question. Then we have the second part of the question. So the first part is their years of experience, that is their rank. Then we have the second part, which is the number of hours they will participate in the project, because we calculate the rate based on hourly rates. Like every hour, what is each of the consultants is supposed to get as payment for his services. Okay. So we have the participating staff are expected to spend 113 hours each, except the two town planners with 18 and 17 years of experience that will only spend that will only spend 57 hours. All right. So we have the question here. So the staff include, we have two town planning professionals with 27 and 21 years of experience, respectively. Then we have 3 town planners, one with 16 years, one with 17 years, one with 18 years of experience. Then we have 2 town planners. So, all of them are town planners. What differentiates them is their years of experience. As I told you, the more years of experience you have, the more rank you have in the ranking. You understand? Okay, so we have 4 town planners. All of the 4 have 6 years of experience. Then we have 2 town planning technologists. Then we have 5 town planning draftsmen. Then 1 senior admin support staff and 3 assistant admin support staff. We have 1 senior driver and 2 drivers. All right. So that is that for their number of years of experience. Then we have the second part, that is the number of hours they are going to participate in the project, because we normally calculate using the hourly rate. So each of these town planners, they don't have the same, they are not going to spend the same time in the project. Some will have a higher number of hours, while some will have a lower number of hours in the project, depending on what is their function. So we have the participating staff are expected to spend 113 years. So all of them are supposed to spend 113 hours, except two town planners with 17 and 18 years of experience. Okay, so if you check in the above, we have 3 town planners. One with 16 years, one with 17, and one with 18 years. So out of these 3, the 2 town planners, those with 17 and 18 years, are going to spend only 57 hours, while the other town planner with 16 years of experience is going to be in the project from beginning till the end. So the time frame is 113 hours. So these town planners will not be there for 113 hours, will not participate for that time. They will only participate for 57 hours. So you take note of that, because if you are doing the calculation, you are going to take note of that. You are going to calculate for the two-term planners separately, that is the two-term planners. Yeah, you are going to calculate for these two-term planners that has 17 and 18 years of experience. Separately, you calculate their fees. Then you calculate the fee for the other term planner that has 16 years of experience. So you calculate using using the number of hours he will participate in the project, which is 113 hours. Okay, then we have one term planner of 6 years of experience who will spend only 38 hours. So we have four term planners with 6 years of experience. Four of them, they are in the same rank, they have 6 years of experience. So out of these four, one of the four will only spend 38 hours, while the other three will spend 113 hours. That is the total number of hours that is expected for the project. Okay, then here they mention the inflation rate. Yeah, some questions they will mention the inflation rate, while some questions they might not mention the inflation rate. So if in your question they mention the inflation rate, then you determine the inflation rate. So how are you going to determine the inflation rate? So after calculating everything, like the total amount of money for each of these term planners, you are going to add everything together. Let's say after adding everything, you have 5 million. Then they mention the inflation rate is 11%. So you calculate 11% as the inflation rate, then you add it on top of that 5 million. That is what will give you the total amount for that project. So here they mention 11% inflation rate. So after calculating all their fees, you add 11% and you calculate the grand total. Okay, and you are also expected to use the maximum hourly rate of charges as approved by TOPREC. Okay, so they will give you this the table with the amount. They normally use to mention range. They normally use to give the table in form of a range. Maybe let's say graduate term planner. They will say the hourly rate for graduate term planner is let's say 5,000 to okay, let's say 7,000 to 5,000. They normally used to mention it that way. That is the maximum and the minimum. Okay, so here they mention maximum. So in the table, if they mention 7,000 to 5,000, that is the range for graduate term planner. In the table, if they will list the table, if in the table they say 7,000 to 5,000, that is the range for graduate term planner. And here in the question, they said use the maximum. So what is the maximum? The maximum is 7,000. So you will use 7,000 for the graduate term planner. Then again, if to say for consultant town planner. That is the town planner that has 27 years of experience. In his range, I think the range should be around 110,000 to 80,000. That is the range for consultant town planner. And they ask you here to use the maximum. So the maximum for consultant town planner that you are supposed to use is 110. That is the highest amount you are supposed to charge. So you charge all the highest amounts in the range. That is the maximum range. So that is why I told you here, you have to read the question very well, understand the question before you start answering. Here they mention maximum hourly rate. If you go and use the minimum hourly range, that means you are not going to have the same answer with the examiner. Even though I assume when marking they are supposed to like follow the step. If you follow the step, it doesn't matter. Maybe if you did not get the exact figures, maybe like they are supposed to consider. But you have to be very careful. You don't know who will mark your script. So you have to give special attention while reading the question. All right. So that is that about the question. Then the last part of the question, they said you are required to, number one, calculate the amount for each participant. Calculate the amount each participant in the project will get. Consultant and planner will get so amount. Graduate town planner will get so amount. Senior town planner will get so amount. Senior driver and driver admin staff, all of them. You calculate the amount separately. You calculate the amount separately. After calculating everything, then you add it. Then B, they said calculate the total consultancy fee based on the above. Okay, that means you calculate the grand total. That is the total amount for the project. Then number C, they said prepare a schedule of payment you will receive for your consultancy. So whenever we sign a project, let's say we are signing a project for 100 million. So when we sign that project, they are not just going to give you that 100 million. No. They will not, because they are smarter than that. Because people, if they give you that money and you run away, like they will start legal battle looking for you to, maybe if you did not deliver as expected. So that is why, because of that, they designed the schedule of payments. How the schedule of payment is that they will say, okay, this is the project. If you deliver 10% or 20% of this project, well, okay, normally they used to give a certain amount after signing of the contract. So if you win the bid, they give you the contract, they will give you take-off money. That is what they call the take-off. So they will give you maybe 20%. If it is 100 million, they will give you 20 million for mobilization of your people and everything. They'll give you that amount. Then they will mention, if you do 30% of the work, they will add you another percentage. If you reach 70%, they will add you another percentage. And if you finish everything, when you submit the final draft, then they will give you the final payment, the final tranche of the payment. So you are also going to calculate that. They will give you the percentages. They also give it here in the paper, in the question paper. Okay. So this is the table. So as you can see, we have the category of the personnel. That is their professional cadre. That is their rank. As I told you, in the army, we have the general, we have the brigadier general, we have the recruits, maybe the drivers, we have major, captain, and rest. So in town planning too, we have the same thing. So you see the category of the personnel, we have chief consultant town planner, we have principal town planner, senior consultant town planner, consultant town planner, then we have town planner, then we have people town planner, we have graduate town planner. So graduate town planner is like a recruit in the army. So he's like a recruit. He's the lowest ranking planner. Then as you can see on the screen, we have the minimum years of experience. So number one, we have chief consultant town planner. Any town planner that has experience of 25 years and above in the business of town planning, he is referred to as chief consultant town planner. So any town planner also, the second most ranking town planner is the principal consultant town planner. So it's a town planner that has the experience of 20 to 24 years. So you just read the table, is self-explanatory. So senior consultant town planner, 15 years to 19 years. Okay, so in the other column, you will see their hourly range. So in chief consultant town planner, okay, initially I told you 110. So that was wrong. It's 90,000. Okay, yeah, it's correct. 90,000 and above. So for chief consultant town planner, you can give him any amount. 90,000 is the minimum. Then the maximum, you can maybe give him 150,000 as the maximum, or maybe 130, since they do not mention it here. Then for principal consultant town planner, he is the town planner that has 20 to 24 years. So the hourly rate is 80,000 to 150. So the maximum is 150. Okay, so if the maximum is 150, I think what you will do, but if you have the same question here for chief consultant town planner, maybe makes his range maybe 170. Make the maximum rate to be 170, so that they will not be the same with principal consultant town planner. So the maximum range for this should be, you will use 150 for this question. Then the second one, we have the senior consultant town planner. The maximum, you use 140 for this calculation. Then we have consultant town planner. You use 135. So you use all these maximum amounts for all of them. All right. So the second part of the question, where they mentioned the schedule of payments, is here. As you can see, number one, on appointment and signing of agreements. If you win the contract, you come for the signing ceremony, you will sign and they will give you 30% of the money. If the contract is 100 M, they will give you 30 M to mobilize your people and start working. Okay, so we have the second one is submission of interim reports. You will have another additional 15%. If you submit final draft, you will have another 35%. Then on completion of everything, final draft, you know, if you submit the final draft, they will check and comment and make corrections and return it to you for you correct it and also resubmit the final report. So after everything, when you submit the final report, then they'll give you your final 20%. You see, all these are done to avoid conflicts. You understand? To avoid conflict in the execution of the contract. Okay, so now let's go directly to our calculation. All right, as you can see, we have chief consultant and planner. I also assign 70,000 to him. So the maximum rate he is supposed to be paid is 70,000. Okay, I think what you will do, some of you, I beg, should get your calculators and be pasting the amounts. We are going to do the calculation together. So for this one now, for consultant and planner, he will participate for 113 hours. So each hour will cost 170,000. So how much do you think he is supposed to be paid? Please paste it in the group. Let me put it here. Just put the amount. Just use your calculator and put the amount in the group. $50,000. So you calculate 150,000 times 113. How much? I think everyone should participate too, because if you don't do it now, you will do it in the exam hall, and it's a compositive question. It's a compositive question. Yeah, Mr. Samchas, thank you so much. LA Bano, yeah, thank you so much. We have a 16,950,000. So that is the money that is required by the principal consultant planner. That is the money he will be paid. Okay, then we have a senior town planner with 16 years. Okay, so as I mentioned, they have in the project there are 3 senior town planning officers, one with 16 years, one with 17 and 18. So the one with 16 will participate fully. That is for 113 hours. So we are going to calculate his amount separately. So for senior town planner with 16 years, we will calculate it as 140,000 times 113 hours. So what is the rate? Well, the rate for senior town planner with 16 years. Okay, 16 years, Mr. Labo, we have 15 million. All right. 15 million, 820. Okay, then for the 2 other senior town planners, the 2 town planners will not participate fully in the project. They will only participate for 57 hours. So we calculate 140 times 57, then times 2 for the 2 of them. Okay, yeah. So somebody should calculate for one of them, then we will do times 2. So 140 times 57. How much is that? Okay, Mr. Sunday Stephen. 7 million. Okay, so let me use your own rate. 7. So that is for each of them, 7 million. And they are two. So you will say 7.9 times 2. So that is the rate for the two senior town planners. So what is okay, Sunday. Thank you so much. So times 2 is okay, times 2. We have 15. Yeah, that's really nice of you. Thank you so much. Okay, so okay, yeah, I think I have it. Yeah, here, 15. Okay, so the okay, let me do like this. Yeah, times 2. Then we have it here as 15. Okay, let me bold it. This one, let me make it bold. Then this one to make it okay. Then number 4, 2 consultant town planners. Please calculate their range. 2 consultant town planners. Okay, I think I didn't remove this one. So 2 consultant town planners, their hourly rates. Okay, with 10 and 12 years of experience. 10 and 12, they are within the same range. So we will determine what is the highest range is 135. So 135 times 113 hours. How much is it for each of them? For one of them, then we'll calculate for the 2 of them. 135 times 113. Okay. Um. Okay, yeah, 15. 135 times 113. We have 15,225. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Sunday. Then you will do times 2. That is for one of them is 15M. Then times 2 for the 2 of them. So how much is the for the 2, 30? All right, that's nice. Then you say equal to 30, 510. So that is the amount for the 2 consultant town planner. Then 3 town planners with 6 years. Okay, let's calculate that. 3 town planners with 6 years. So the maximum is 125. Then 125 times 113 hours. Okay. All right. Yes. Yeah. I'm with you. Okay. All right. Yeah. 14M. Then 14M times 3 for the 3 of them. How much is it? 14 times 3. So the final amount.
Lukman, what's wrong with you? Can you please mute your background? What's wrong with you?
Ali, you let me make you an admin so that you can be able to be muting them. Okay. Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming. Okay. Where is? Okay. All right. Okay. What is the 43 of them? Okay, 42. Okay. 42, 125, 123. Okay. Then next we have one term planner with 6 years of experience. Okay. So how much should be the amount for one term planner with 6 years of experience? With 6 years is under 125. Okay, so 125 times 38 hours. So if you check the question, they mentioned that term planner with 6 years will only participate for 38 hours. So his range is 4.7. Okay, yeah, 4.7. Okay, 4.7. So for the town planners, you know there are four. One will participate for the full time, then one will participate for 38 hours. Okay, so after calculating the amount for the three and the amount for the other one separately, then you will come and add the two together so that you will have the total amount that is to be paid for the four town planners. So what is the summation of this 42M and 4.7? Okay, yeah, for the three, I have seen that. Then for the one with 38 hours, okay, his own is supposed to be 4.7. Then you add 4.7 plus the rate for the other three. That will give you the total amount to be paid for the town planners in that category, in that rank. Okay, I'm still waiting. You guys are not very active in the WhatsApp. I think we are almost 50 here, and only I think 4 people are responding. Yeah. I think it's better for you to practice now, because in the exam hall you will do it alone. And no matter how good you think you are, if you enter the exam hall, like you will feel like you have not even seen that before. So the more you practice outside, the more you'll be very familiar with it in the exam hall. Okay, I'm still waiting for the rest of the three. I think I can even add it off here. So 42 plus 4, that is almost, yeah, 47. Okay, let me open my card and do it. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, 42, 125, 000 plus 4, 750. Yeah, 46. Okay, that is that for that. Then we go to the town planning technologist. Town planning technologist, what is their rate? Town planning technologist, the highest rate is 50,000. Okay, so, and they will participate fully. The town planning technologist. Okay, we have 10 town planning, yeah. Town planning technologists, they are two. So town planning technologists, 50,000 times the hourly rate, that is 5 million, then 5 million times 2. That is what you will get. Let me add it. 5 million times 2, 5, 6, 50, 1, 2, 3 times 2. We have 11M. Okay, then we have 10 planning droughtsmen. So for each of them, they are also their rate, droughtsmen. What is their rate in the table? Their maximum rate is 50,000. So 50,000 times the hourly rate, that is 5.6. That is for each one. 50 times 113 hours. That is the rate for one droughtsman. Then we have 10 of them. So you will say that rate times 10. That is their total amount. Okay, so times 10. So we come here and write the amount times 10. Okay, so I will just say times 10. Times 10 is 56. 1, 2, 3. All right, then we have senior admin. Senior admin, okay, they are here. Support staff, senior admin, the highest rate, the maximum is 20,000. And we have only how many? We have only one. So senior admin will participate fully 113 hours. So his rate is 2.2. Then next we go to admin staff. We have 3 of them. So 3 of them. So for one of them is 2 points. Yeah, the same amount is they have the same amount with the other guy above. So 2.2 for one of them, and we have 3 of them. So this amount 2.2 times 3. That is the amount for the 3 of them. Okay, so we will say 1, 2, 3, then times 3. So the amount is 6.7. 1, 2, 3. So that is the amount for this. All right, senior driver. We have only one senior driver. So 10,000 times 113. 10,000. The maximum is 10,000 times the hours. 113 hours. So it's 1.1. It's not much. He's a driver. Okay, 131.9. Okay, so our meeting will end again in the 10 minutes. So we are finishing before by then, by God's grace, so that we continue tomorrow. Okay, so this is the amount for the driver. Then that is senior driver. We have two drivers. Their hourly rate too is the same, 10,000 times 113 hours. So we have 1.1, then times 2. So times 2, that is for the two of them. Okay, times 2. We have 2.2. Okay, so somebody should start calculating everything for us, for all the participants, all of them, chief consultant and plan, all of them. I need the total. Then we determine the inflation rate. So the inflation rate should be 11% of this. So what you will do to get 1% of this money, that is how I normally do it. So this is the total amount. Then 1% of it is this amount divided by 100. That will give you 1% of that money. Then you will do times 11 of it. That is the 11%. As simple as that. So first I will say to find 1% of this amount, I will write it in my so that means you have to get your calculator while going to the examination, because they might not allow you, as usual, they might not allow you to borrow calculator. So you better buy a very good calculator and practice with it. at home before going to the exam. Okay, so I have it here. I will do the total amount divided by 100. I have 2.2 M. Okay, so let me write it in the bracket. That is 1%. Then times 11. So this is 1%. 1%. So 11% equals to, okay, 11% equals to that amount times, that 1% times 11. That is just it, as simple as that, times 11. So it's 24. 24 M. So this is the inflation. So what you will do to get your grand total is this inflation plus the normal plus the amount. This inflation plus total, that is the grand total. Okay, so let me add it from here. So I have 250 M. 250. So this is the grand total. So this is the final amount to be given to the town planners to carry out this project. That is the master plan for the local government. As you know, town planning is a very big. Most town planning projects are not like estate or maybe small projects. They're very cash intensive. They're very expensive. That is why you see only government most of the times used to organize this kind of project, or maybe big real estate companies. Okay, so this is the end of today's class. Because this is only 10 p.m. we are supposed to stop by 9:30. So by tomorrow we'll continue with the final part of the question, that is the schedule of payment. So as you can see, the reason they made this question very, they make it compulsory. Like this one can take you like almost 1 hour to do it. But if you know it very well, in 40 minutes, 30 minutes, you can just finish it. You understand? So that is why it is very good to read the question very well, see the number of experts, the number of experience of town planners they will mention, then you determine their rates. Okay, so I will stop here and give chance to anyone that have any question to talk. Okay, the floor is yours. Okay, if there's any question you can ask. If there's no question, we can end the meeting immediately.
I have questions, sir.
Okay, go on.
Sir, are they going to provide us with this table?
Yeah, they will give you this table
exam?
is part of the question. They will give you this one. They will give you this table
Okay.
with the and the rates. They will give you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
That's
my peer.
No, they will give you because to cram this thing is not a small something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They will give you. So it's just for you now. The question and do your arithmetic.
Okay, okay, sir.
I have a question, sir.
Okay, go on.
Please, I want to know why it's compulsory for us to use the maximum and not the minimum.
Well, that is what they mentioned in the question paper. They say you should use maximum. So that is what they ask you to use. So you don't have any reason to not to use it.
Okay.
But in your question, you read, if they mention minimum, then you use the minimum. Whatever they mention, you use it.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Lastly, sir, before we go, I don't know this percentage. I don't know how you came up with I missed this part that you came up. The network was breaking. The inflation, 11%. How you calculated it?
Okay.
And
Okay. What? Okay. They mentioned the inflation, the 11%. They mentioned it in the question.
Don't you know? Helping us with that, don't you know?
Are you with me?
Yes, sir. The calculation. How did you
the calculation.
calculate
What
it?
I said, you see this amount, this total here.
Oh, wow.
The 225.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so that is the total. Then you divide it by 100 to get the 1%